Good morning. It is Sunday. It is Sunday, and how the turns have tabled. How the turns have. It's been pretty boring lately, hasn't it? But not now. Not boring now. We got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. We're going to stir up some controversy, throw some rhetorical grenades. It'll be great. It's going to be great. But I've got my coffee. It's Sunday morning. We're going to talk about World of Tanks, what's going on. We'll start with channel news. Let's see what's going on with us. Well, we're able to still kick out a couple videos a day. That's all good. I am gearing up to get my map stuff going again. Actually started yesterday on one and then got interrupted about 10 minutes into it and realized I need to redo it anyway. So that's still coming. We're working on that. Next stream will be next Thursday at 0900 to 1200, which will end up being January the, let us see here, 30th. So January the 30th, you can expect my next stream from 9 to 12. Might be slightly after 9. I've got an appointment before that. Not sure how long that's going to go. A real professional with hard schedule, but me, I just randomly give you a time and then fail to meet it. That's how we roll. I am done with Tier 10 Scouts, guys. Well, not done, but I'm done with my 100 Battle Challenge, and we had some interesting results. So let's take a look at that. How did we do? Back to Garage. First of all, we got a 49 in the Sheridan, 49%, 54% in the 100 LT. We got a 59% in the Panzerwagen Reich Ramsmetal, blah, blah, blah. We got a 53% in the Manticore, 57 in the 13105. The EBR, I did that a while ago when it came out, but I'm a pretty, I don't know, how far above am I in 100 in that thing? 118, so that's the one I think I have the most battles in. Although it may be the Manticore, let's find out. Nope, it's definitely the EBR, and we got to 53%. So 58% player, they're all slightly below, other than one of them, I guess, is in line, and 58 is close enough. This makes no difference, but most of them are underperforming our regular win rate. That's kind of what I think you would expect from most people playing a Tier 10 light tank. They just aren't really going to probably meet your overall win rate. If we look at it, what's interesting is 49%, 746 average experience, so 1,600 damage and 1,000 assist. So then we go to the, let's figure out what's going on here. There we go, go this way. Let's go to the RHM. It's sitting at 1,600 damage, about 1,000 assist with an 806. And that's quite a difference between win rates, isn't it? 59% to 49% with the Sheridan, with basically the same stats, more or less. Come down here to the 100 LT, and it's sitting at a little higher, 1770. So lower win rate, but higher stats, and 1277 with assistance, even higher than the RHM. So I think what that speaks to quite a bit is a couple things. The first one is obviously play style, and the tanks that you like are going to be, the stats will be adjusted, especially win rate, in the case of how you like to play. So there's a little bit of that. 100 is still a small sample size, so there's another thing. I think that's part of it right there. There are intangibles in these tanks, in all tanks really, that are kind of hard to quantify sometimes, and you really only see in a win rate. Now, if we went to 500 battles in each one of these, I think we'd have a really good idea of what my overall skill rate or win rate is really going to be. I feel like maybe the Sheridan is low, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it is just that bad of a tank. And there's obviously also that part, which of those are better than others. However, the common knowledge, common idea, is that the RHM is one of the worst of the bunch, and I'm doing the best in that one. So very interesting findings, I thought, at least from my perspective, on what we saw. The 13105 sitting at 16 and 1088, but 57%. It's got an autoloader. That's one of those kind of intangibles. We can look at the DPM, but all DPMs are not created equal. The 13105 has that burst damage with an autoloader. You can put the derp, for example, on the Sheridan and get that really big blap kind of thing going on. The Manticore is tiny. It can get into places that others can't. There's just, I think, a lot going on there. So I don't think I can come down on one thing or the other, which explains necessarily the spread in win rates on that. But I think I can say with fairly good certainty that the Tier 10 light tanks are bad in the meta. They're good tanks. They're fun to play. But as far as the way the game is played, how Tier 10 interacts with the game rules, with the game mech, with the game design, the meta, etc., they are not very good. The Tier 9 are well better at tier than the Tier 10. The Tier 10 step up for light tanks. And the problem is that the game meta has this kind of ceiling, especially in view range and the size of maps, that the Tier 10, lower tiers kind of are down here, and as you start to percolate up, they get closer and closer to that ceiling of the 500 draw range, the 445, I believe it is, spotting range. And now everything's jammed up in the top here, and there's not a lot of maneuver room within the mechanics of the game for the light tanks, because the light tanks are difficult to play. They don't have any armor. They don't really have any staying power. They don't hit very hard. They literally have one trick, which is to move with their camo. That's about it. And then the other things of being small and yada yada. So they do struggle, especially at Tier 10, that it gets exposed that the game mechanics and the scouting part of the game is less and less viable the closer you get to Tier 10. And at Tier 10, it's as bad as it gets. I will have a video on that. I'm going to break those thoughts down a little bit more, slightly more coherent, ideally. But I thought that was a kind of interesting thing, and I wanted to throw that out. So I am done with the 100 battle challenge on all of my light tanks. So we'll have to figure out what I'm doing next. Maybe back to the missions and try to get the Chimera, the Chimchimney, try to get that thing unlocked finally. That is that. Let's move on to missions and specials. All right, as I said, how the turns have tabled. I know it's table's turn. I got it. There's quite a bit going on, actually. We got this Lunar New Year thing going on, a couple missions or a couple specials ending, or at least one special ending. A lot of stuff going on in the premium shop. We'll talk about that. Little thing I found that I thought was interesting I hadn't noticed before. I'll bring it up and see if you guys have noticed it. Maybe it's been a thing and I've just missed it up till now. But the Tank Mastery Wave 4 is up, so you can go ahead and get the Kehoe, the Sturv M42, 3001, and the T28 prototype if you want to try to get your Mastery badge on those. Remember, you have to activate those. Those are codes. Double-barreled heavies are coming. Double-barreled, I've talked about that a bit. We're not going to dig in that today, but my understanding, I keep hearing the number 53,000 experience for the KV3 to get to the IS-2 too. So I have 120 or 130 on my KV3. I don't know. Maybe it is that low. That would surprise me. That would be one of the lowest, if not the lowest, that I know of, getting to a Tier 8 tank from a Tier 7. Very interesting. So keep an eye on that. I have not found a release date for 1.7.1 yet. I think it's next week, but I have zero data on that. My understanding was the test server was going to go a week, and then usually it's released pretty quickly after that. I dug around today on the sites. I didn't see any numbers on the day. My assumption is next week. We'll see. Okay, so the TS5. Let's see, any other mission things we want to do before we get into the shilling right here. That's right. ×3 crew XP. Interesting here that this Helltrax idea is for these tanks, which is also a ×2 XP. If you're in the top 5 XP earners, you're going to ×2 your XP. So if you're grinding the Chaffee, Bulldog, Patton, or Sheridan, I guess the Patton and Sheridan don't matter. You're just going to have experience going to your crew at that point. Or you're building up crew if you want to do your exchange. We'll get to that later. We're going to get to that one later. That's the fun one today. Did you notice? Did you notice the conversion is now 40-1 today? But that's none of my business. Oh boy. Okay. Some people got their panties in a bunch on that one. Triple crew experience, top 10 XPs. I think, yeah, first victory doesn't count. The first victory is going to be whatever your times this week is, which is it ×2? Nope, it's ×5 for the first battle this weekend. Then you're going to be ×3 crew XP, which is a good deal. Good deal. So we got that going on. Oh, and hey, check this out. 25% gold discount for qualification change. So if you want to change a commander to a gunner to loader, whatever the case may be, that may help you move some crews around. Remember, though, that your prizes, well, some of the commanders are locked as a commander, and you can't change them. Some of the special commanders, so bit of a bummer there, but there you go. I have 3, I think 1 Christmas commander, or maybe they're all 3 of the Twitch Prime commanders still sitting around, or not all 3, but 3 of them still sitting in my barracks with nothing to do. There's a way to get some special commanders. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Not special commanders, special crew with the lunar special there. So that's that times 2. There's the lunar special we'll get to in just a minute. And we will go ahead and shill in a minute as well. But first thing we're going to do is talk about the Lunar New Year here. Let's knock that out. Actually, you know what? Let's shill first, and then we'll get to the Lunar New Year. No, we will not. This is real-time changes, folks. Real-time changes. I want to do this first because when we get into the sales, it does play on those a bit. Let's just get the facts out first before we go to the sales and get our panties in a bunch about how this is going down. All right, let's go to the landing page. This is a bit confusing here on what's going on. I don't know why there has to be 2 pages of explanations, but there does. Where's the landing page? How do I get to it? I thought there was a button here that said go to the landing page. There it is. Okay, so, oh my God. Wargaming, please, guys. I know you guys went to school for building websites. A lot of you did. You can make I can't do this, but I can think in a common sense manner. There's a huge landing page that has all kinds of stuff on it. The link to it is here in the middle of a sentence. Oh, please, for the love of goodness. Let's see what happens here. Is it going to open up a new? It does. It opens up a new one. I already had one ready. So just drop that one. We'll go to this one. Here we go. All right, you got to log in, folks. First things first, all right? First things first, log in. Oh, wait a minute. It didn't want me to log in. Now what's going on? There we go. I have to log in. I've had to log in twice. I don't know why. Now, and again, design of the UI. This big button takes you to the rewards. This is probably what you want, because if you scroll down here, holy crap, what's happening? I don't know. Something is costing something, and it's stuff we can get. And up at the top is a Canon and Jagdpanzer. It makes me think that maybe I can get that with this thing for free. We'll get to that. And there's that guy. That's the 4190 thing. Is it the 4190 or is it the... I think it's the M41, right? M41. Yes, M41D. And I can get some... I don't know what this is because I can't read it. It's too big and it's going across like a sign and it's so slow. Pack... Gilded... And then this one's hauling ass. It's like, what, PA was 31. Also, it's going from right to left, which is not the way people read. So I don't know, left to right, which is not the way people read. So that's cool. Gilded, okay. And I come down here and I got more stuff I have a hard time reading. And holy cow, what's this? I'm going to get some styles, but that's a random reward. How does that work? I don't know. Yeah. Okie dokie. Click this button and save yourself a lot of time. Other than the comedy of that whole thing. It was cool. There was a lot of shiny stuff. But I have now clicked 1, sign in, 2, 3 times to get to the page where I can redeem and get stuff. And it's in a more concise, easy to read, relatively format. 3 clicks. Whew. All right. So the bottom line is there's 5 elements, guys. 5 elements. Each element costs 300 tickets. Each mission each day gets you 150 tickets. I'll show you that in the UI in a minute. Which means I have 3 days worth of missions done. I have 450 tickets. That means I can pick one of these. If you get all 4 of these, you will then open up Metal Element and you'll be able to get the 4th. Excuse me. There are 1,800 as of right now tickets available via missions. It's the Chinese New Year, is it a Chinese zodiac? You know, the year of the rat, year of the dragon, whatever they call it. Happens to be the year of the rat. So it's one of each of those for 12 years. I guess that cycles through 12 years or some such thing like that. I believe that's how it works. It could be less than that. In any event, there's 1,800 tickets available, which means that you can easily unlock these 5 things: 3, 6, 9, 15, 1,800 tickets. Oh my gosh, my math is terrible. That's why you don't do math in public. 3, 6, 9, 12, 1,500 to get those 5 elements unlocked. What do you get when you unlock them? Camouflage. Actually, you get 9 camouflage each time you do that. So every 2 days you get 9 camouflages. That's actually cool. Good. That's actually a pretty darn good deal, right? 2 days of playing, 9 camouflages. Are you kidding me? 10 tokens for any times 5, with a times 5 for any vehicle. I'm assuming that's the whatever next tank you play once you unlock those. I don't know if you have to sign those or what. That'll be interesting. I'm not sure how that works. Look at this. Universal Commander. 100% with 0 perk BIA. That's awesome. That is awesome. And then there's the loader, and then the driver, and then the gunner. These I don't know if you are able to change the qual. But that's a crew, right? You're going to get a 4. Do you get a crew with this guy? No. So, nice. Another 9, another 9, another 9, 9. You're getting a lot. You get that 1, available 1. That's important. Watch that because some of them are only available once. You unlock metal element. Apparently, when you do the other 4, you get 9 metal camouflage, 10 tokens, and 5 times free experience. So no crew member with this one. Then you click complete. I guess that unlocks when you do all 4 of those. It says crew books says crew books, but there's no numbers. It shows one of each of these kind. I don't know. We'll find out when somebody gets there. I have no idea why that's there and what it does or how many you get. No clue. Okay, so free tanks, you said? Well, not so fast. Not so fast. We're going to look at a funny a post about this because I have different feelings than most people do on this. There's a bit of a kerfuffle because, as I said, you can only get 1,800 tickets and you need 2,500 fun tickets to get this. Well, how do you get it, you might ask? You already know. You spend money. But let's just talk about the free deal, because remember I did my math in public and we got to 1,500. That left us 300 tickets. If we come down here, and you can scroll this, by the way, you see the little dots telling you that there's extra pages over there. I can then probably get this guy right here. So that'll bring me up to 1,800. I got a supply cart with quite a few personal reserves, actually. So free to play, 1,800. You're going to end up with that. I guess you could grab... Unfortunately, you can only do this once. You could grab a day of premium, but you're wasting 150 tickets. But if you wanted that 1 day of premium, there you go. Warrior Boon Pack. Anyway, you can get this. So you're going to get a bunch of reserves. You're going to get 4 crew members. You're going to get, holy cow, this is going to be hard. 9, 18, 27, 36, right? Is that right? 36, I think it is. 36 camouflages? 36, guys. 4, did I say the crew members? I think I did. And then the tokens for times 5. And, oh my gosh, I forgot. 45. 40, am I right? 36, yeah, 45 camouflages just for playing for free and a bunch of personal reserves. Pretty cool. All right. Are you bent? Are you bent that these aren't, that you can't get these for free? Why? We'll talk about that later. There are ways then to get more tickets, and we'll talk about that also when we get to shilling. That's why I wanted to do this first. So I think that pretty much is all of what's going on with that as far as the mechanics of how you do that. If anybody has any other tricks or tips or tricks, go ahead and throw them down in the comments there. But I think that's pretty close to everything. Now, let's go ahead and shill. Let's shill because I told you you were able to get more tokens. And in order to get more tokens, you need more fun tickets, folks. And if you're going to have more fun tickets, you're going to have to shill. Shell out while I shill. Shell out sounds like sell out. That's me. I'm a sellout. All right, so you can get yourself a lucky envelope. I don't know why they name these things. Any event, a lucky envelope has 100 golden tickets for $6. $6.50. You can get an extra 100 golden tickets. I did some of the math on those things down below. There is an option to ignore the crew members and go for one of the higher packages to get various things there. But, oh, I forgot to tell you guys. An important part about that. Let's go back. There was an important bit that I totally forgot about. Here it is. Down here, when you get to some of these, see how it says you will get a random reward? You will get a random reward. So the one do it too. Oh, I was wrong. You will get a random reward. Okay, see, I already messed up. I said you would get all these. You're not. You're going to get one of these. Random, right? A little, you were gambling, oh my God. And then there's a smiling mask. You get one, and you'll get one. So for 600 tickets, that seems pretty steep just to get one of these styles when you're already getting 45 free ones. There's zero. Although the Ad Astra is pretty cool. These are decent styles. I actually like the Moon Viewing and the Ad Astra. The other two I'm not as crazy about. These kind of look like regular camos to me. I don't know why you would gamble on the 600. Gamble, it's not gambling, but I don't know why you would do the 600. I don't know. Maybe you just want to go for it. But in any event, it is random. So you're like, ooh, I could get 30 days of PA. Oh, by the way, the odds, at least for the Southeast Asia server, were printed on their site because by law they have to do that. And as you might guess, the 30 days was a much smaller percentage than the 7 days. I think common sense would let you know that that's true, but that's at least one data point telling you that that's how it goes. Okay, so I wanted to bring that up. Now we're going to go back to the premium shop. Like I said, there's math in there if you want to try one of those other things, but I think there's a law of diminishing returns. My opinion is you get all the free stuff for $1,500, take your $300 and decide what you want to do, and if you feel like adding a little bit to go for it, go for it. I did not do the math on, so you need another, if you got 1,800 and you need another 700 to get the tank. So in order to get 700, you're going to have to buy, I think, 2 packages. What does this one give you? That's 300. So you'd at least have to do 2 $10 packages and the $6.50 $6.50 package. So for 26 bucks, you could get one of those tanks with a lot of extra goodies thrown in. Does that make sense? So it is kind of a discount deal on those tanks for 2,500 fun tickets. But if you do that, you don't get all the crew and all the rest of the goodies. Okay, what you're going to end up with is this a couple times, this twice, and this once, and the tank and whatever the tank comes with. All right, so there you go. Kind of interesting. We're going to talk about, somebody wrote an article on TAP or one of the others and had a cow about it. We're going to get into that. I'll give you my thoughts, but we're just giving you the facts right now. There's also New Year Blessings, which is 44 bucks, and that gives you 1,500. So you could go 4,400, have a little overkill on your requirements here. That would give you, Math in Public, 3,300 fun tickets. That leaves 800 to grab something else along the way. I guess you could get 2 of the packages with the crew, end up with 1 of the tanks, and then you've got extra days of premium and all kinds of reserves, bunch of reserves thrown in here. All right, so that's an option. And then we get down here and we get some tanks that are on sale that are including the camos, I think. I think it says that, garage. Yes, fire camouflages. It says that. It says that plural, but I don't know if that's true. I'm assuming it's just the camouflage for the one. And you get 600 golden tickets. So there's a lot of ways to skin this cat. You know, if you wanted a Suma and you were willing, I can drop this down actually a little bit less than 53, which is an okay price for a Suma. And you wanted another 600 tickets, and you wanted, look at this, 18 fire extinguishers, first aid kits. So you're really gonna have to dig around. You're really gonna have to dig around into these specials because they've thrown a lot at you. And I'm honest. Be honest with you, I'm not sure what the best deal is right here with all of these, but they don't seem to be terrible deals. Let me just put it that way. Now, what I wanted to get to is this little situation right here with the war chest, because the 4190 is on sale. These are the 2 things that you can get. And those 2, you can get this one here. This one's going to come at 52 bucks, and it gets you the 600 golden coins and these other things we talked about. However, this version down here has an interesting thing going on with it, in that you get a crew with a 1 skill or perk, with enough experience for 1 skill or perk. Now, I think we've seen that in the past a couple times, but I don't know if the big packages are now carrying this as a standard thing. It's the first time I've noticed it. So let me know down below if any of you guys have noticed whether or not these things have had that attached to them. I've seen it before. I do recall it happening, but I don't know if it's regular. So that package has it. The TL1 LPC Pretty Fly has that special crew that's the band, and they've got Brothers in Arms, I think, so that's their deal. These two have that special package going on. This one, though, which is a more expensive, it's a war chest, slightly less expensive, has less stuff apparently, but does not have that special crew. Don't know. So there you go. At least in that sample of 3 or 4, 3 of them have a special crew. The Pretty Fly makes sense because that's part of their deal with that one, with the band. The other 2 haven't really noticed the 0 skill or the enough experience for 1 skill thing happen very often. And then you've got this one, the 4th one, that's a larger package and it doesn't have it. So I don't know. Might be a test balloon, maybe something I've missed that's been going on. And I think that's pretty much it. I've got some things that are available to me because of Twitch Prime and all that. Oh, by the way, Twitch Prime is apparently ending next month. I think next month is the last month. Check that, belay that. I think, I want to say it's the next month or 2. It might be February. But it is coming to an end. The partnership between Wargaming and Twitch giving you the Twitch Prime stuff. The rumor I heard, which I cannot verify, maybe it's just wishful thinking, and I don't know why it wouldn't be true necessarily, is if you've got the King Tiger C, you're going to keep it. So it might behoove you to keep your Amazon/Twitch Prime going up to the time that this thing ends, so that if the King Tiger C is in your garage, you get to keep it. Which makes me wonder, can you get the King Tiger C? I don't think you can. Here's what I don't know. Can you join all this at the last month, get the King Tiger C, and then keep it? I don't know. I'm going to have to research that. I feel like the King Tiger C was given at the beginning one, and you can't get it anymore. That's probably true. Okay, that's enough of that shilling. Spend all your money. Get your tickets. Fun tickets. There's the fun tickets again over there. Not much going on there. Premium account, we won't even look at that. We're going to go to vehicles, see if anything else pops out at us. We've really talked about most of it. Yep. Oh, it's in pretty decent order, too. This is actually making sense to me here. These big packages are still here. I don't know how long the salute's going on. I think there was a date attached to it, but I don't remember. I feel like if you wanted to grab all that kind of thing, you'd already done it. And the specials are basically what we already looked at. Or is it featured? Specials. We already looked at featured. All right, cool. Remember the Battle of the Bulge is over today. That's this guy. This is the last day. It is the 26th, check. Or 25th, man, my eyes. So whatever you're doing with this, make sure you finish it up today. Grab your rewards. I always grab my rewards before it ends, just in case there's shenanigans. I don't know why people wait on stuff like that. There's always a post in the forum. Hey, if I wait 7.2 days after, can I still get it? Dude, why? Just pick your stupid reward. Maybe it's they're not at a computer. Some people, work places where they don't have access, but they're all. It seems like there's always a post about that kind of subject. All right, so Battle of the Bulge ends. Let's see. We'll make sure we don't have anything else we want to talk about here. Go to here. We go to here. That was a lot. We talked about that. We shilled, spend money, make everybody rich, except yourself. I think that's it. That's definitely it. All right. Let us move on. Oh, we got to go to the UI. Let's quickly look at the UI, and then we'll go on to subjects du jour. Okay, going into missions. There's not much to see here, folks. The Lunar New Year, this is tracking the missions. There's the 150 tickets. Oh, by the way, there's one more reward if you finish up. You get all 1,800 tickets, then you'll get this little bonus in your UI. Kits, also good. Gas can. Oh, look at these weird gas. Oil and gas and Lend-Lease oil and octane and 8 manuals. Just thrown in on top of all the rest of it. Let's see, what is today? 3 enemy vehicles damaged. 600 base experience. I mean, it really is easy. Oh, I also forgot to mention you get emblems out of it every day. 6. Tons of emblems. It's a good deal, folks. It's a good deal. We'll talk about where people think it's evil in just a moment. Tank Mastery, that's what we talked about earlier. Lima's still going on. Watt Salute. Player tank class right. I think you're all familiar with that. For any new people, this is a great way to grind up a specific class. So if you're running mediums and you're grinding a medium line, you can go through 101, 201, 301, 401 and get your diploma, and there's free equipment, there's free experience, there's some more equipment right there. You get, look at that. You get improved vent and a rammer. And really, at the end of the day, if you don't need all this stuff, you're a free-to-play player, and you got your tanks kitted out and you're getting free stuff, well, you can keep it for setting up your next tank. Or in the case of these things, it's like $500,000, 500,000 silver credits of free credits. You could sell it and then boost your ability to buy another tank. So it's not a bad deal at all. You get some kits and things along the way. Some of these aren't that great. I mean, Destroyer 301 gives you an automatic fire extinguisher. You know, that that's not that great, actually, if you think about it. The 401 is nice, and the diploma is nice on all of those. All right. Haven't talked about that, specifically about that, for a long time. But it's a good deal. And it does require a code, but it's at the beginning of the month. Remember that, folks. We're coming to a new month. So if they roll this over to February, which I assume they will, assume, you know how that goes, then you'll put a code in and off to the races. E100 is on track. If you're running that, that's always good because it's just extra goodies while you are running your E100 tech tree line. Whatever tanks are on that. I think E75, Tiger 2, Tiger is on that line, I believe. ×3, this is the ×3 that I talked about, and other missions, premium missions, are pretty standard. So there's not a whole lot else to see there. Just if you want to know what your Lunar New Year mission is, this is probably the easiest way to find it right here. Mission completed 0 of 3. Oh, this is just UI stuff. That actually doesn't mean anything right now. What that's doing is they've coded it to look for whatever cards are in here and then count up how many of those cards you've finished, but that's not really, it's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Doesn't matter as far as this 0 of 3. Some of the missions will count these up, and then when you get the third one done, you get something else, but that's not really a factor on that one. Okie dokie. Let's move on to subjects du jour. Well, okay, friends, we got the Berlin map coming up, and here's the overview of it. There is a video fly through. I won't make you watch all that, but we're seeing a spawn on the east and west, or sorry, a cap on the east and west, spawn on the northeast and northwest. Looks like there's a way to come up kind of up top here. There's going to be people camping, I would imagine, on these two corners, just making sure nobody crosses. That seems like kind of dead space on the map. Of course, there's a big river dead space going through the middle of the map, just so we can't use that whole section of the map. This the whole north part seems irrelevant to me at this point. There's two crossings to get into either the city. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a city brawl here potentially, and then there's a field. Where have we seen this before? There's a city and a field. You put your TDs in the back, you put your heavy tanks in the front, you shake them all about, you do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around, and you have a standard wargaming map. I don't know. Maybe it's awesome. How come the red guys get such a really big building, and the green guys get a little itty bitty building, a little sad building right there, and there's a building in the middle. Great. This looks like a place you don't want to be. I don't know what the... Look at this. They got this. Why do they have this? They have this. And this team gets nothing. This is where I'd put my TD. I'm going to put it right back in here. And that way, if anybody comes through that opening, or there, I got them. All right. Berlin's on the way. We'll see what happens with old Berlin. Okay, so... I thought about how I was going to go about this a little bit. I guess maybe a bit of a mea culpa, and it's a good point, well taken. I got a little feedback, blowback, maybe closer to blowback / feedback. We'll call it. What's the word? Well, it's criticism is the word, but I'm trying to think of the friendlier criticism. But anyway, a little bit of criticism, a little bit of blowback, a little bit of feedback about mocking people for the anonymizer. You know, I guess I'm of two minds of that. The first one is, yeah, I got it. Probably don't want to hear me go on about the anonymizer every time I make a video. But at the same time, you know, it's a little bit of friendly jesting going along there. Good-natured ribbing, but the feedback is well taken and understood. And I know a lot of people like the anonymizer and what it does for their gameplay. So there you go. This is the part where I say, but with all due respect, no, I'm not going to go into that. Just know that the feedback was received. It was internalized. I do appreciate it. I may still give people every now and again grief on that, but I will try to not have that be the constant droning feedback that I give to the anonymized guys every video I make. So noted. Got it. Good feedback. Appreciate it. DDoS attacks. DDoS. This is kind of interesting, guys. So over on Watt Express, remember the guy that left Wargaming and started a political party? Remember that guy? And they actually did an article on it, and then pretty soon after that, Wargaming had some DDoS attacks on their servers. Now, correlation is not causation, but I thought this was an interesting little article. RBC hints that the most massive DDoS attack on Watt servers in the history of the game is related to politics, but there is no evidence. For more than a week, Wargaming servers have been subject to DDoS. Now, a couple of days, it did not affect me. A couple of days, it did affect me while that was going on last week, where I would get the twitchy turret and I would be jumping around a little bit and it would be hard to control. And my ping would show fine, so it was clearly on their side. It was their server having the issue, not the transmission between their server and me. But like I said, a couple times it affected me. A couple times it did not affect me. But some people had it pretty much for a week, crushing them. So I thought that was interesting on how that worked or didn't work. And, you know, our servers are here in NA, I believe. So it doesn't really talk about whether this was just RU/EU or across the servers. I know that the store had issues as well. So very interesting right there. For more than a week, servers have been subject to DDoS. They coincided with the announcement of a former employee about the desire to create a direct democracy party. But he does not connect these events. Read into that what you will. Probably coinky dink, really, at the end of the day. But it is interesting. You know, that's a thing. I mean, people take issue with that kind of stuff in that part of the world. They take issue with that kind of stuff in all parts of the world sometimes. But interesting. There you go. What do you guys think? I don't know. Again, I don't want to get into politics. I'm just more commentating on the reality of the DDoS attack and whether it was related to something goofy like that. Very, very interesting, I thought. All right, I said we would get to this when we're talking about the Lunar New Year stuff. So this is off of the Armored Patrol. They do great work. Enjoy it. Good blog. And we have by Verox here, we've got a article titled World of Tanks Lunar New Year Missions and Why Wargaming is Greedy Again. Let me just ask you guys something. In all honesty, how I just love this because it begs the question: how is the company supposed to operate and make money? Are they just completely not allowed to ever have some kind of monetization scheme? Now, some monetization schemes are better than others. I have got on their case when they've done things that I thought were cheesy. And I do agree to some extent that it looked like you could get a free tank out of this. Okay? That also was how they've operated in the past in general with these marathons or missions. But there's always been some give and take there because if they were easy, they tended to give less rewards. If they were harder, and they have been ratcheting up the difficulty, they tended to give things like tier 8 premiums. And lately, it's been to the point where they're ratcheting up the difficulty where it is not really easy at all, unless you are just a pure hardcore gamer, to get it for free, and it becomes more of a discount. So there's a lot of things going on there, kind of all at once and at the same time. None of which bother me too much, to be honest. As they look at their monetization stream, as they look at how things change over the years, as they look at how many people get free tanks, what it's doing to their game economy, all the things they try to control within their game. I happen to think the company tries to control that too much and thinks they have more control than they do, but that's a generalization. We're kind of talking just about really the lunar event here. So I am not bothered by Wargaming trying to make some money. I'm not going to call it false advertising, nor am I going to go nearly as far as we go here. And my point on this article is that it really does it just goes off into left field. So while the point is valid in that, hey, it's sort of, you guys sort of made it look like a free tank, greedy, bait and switch, all of the superlatives, the hair on fire, oh my God, you evil corporation, you're terrible people. That's just stupid. Yes, they should not have made it look like you could get a free tank. No, it is not them being greedy or evil or trying to trick you with a bait and switch. That's dumb. I mean, come on, take some responsibility for yourself. I didn't like the way they did it, but coming and making a whole article. Let's just get down to the verbiage because it's awesome. It really is. All right. Good idea, horrible execution, and maybe to a large extent, he and I are on the same page, and I think we really are. I just think that the hyperventilating part of it could be toned down, and then we don't cause drama out of it. We just give them feedback that, that was kind of crap. That's how I try to do it. It's like, guys, I love you, but that was a crappy way to do it. Could you not do it that way? But so we got really easy missions, and that's important, guys. They are really easy missions, right? So the idea that you're going to get a free tier 8 tank with a bunch of really easy missions, try to look at the whole picture of what's going on here with this mission and go, holy crap, I'm getting 45, I think it is, camos with super easy missions. Think of how much they've sold camos for in the past. Now, granted, I think they completely overpriced camos, which I assume is why they probably don't sell a lot of them. I would love to see those numbers. Hopefully this is a part of the lesson learned there. So you're not going to expect, at least I would not, being realistic and common sense, to do that easy of a mission and get 2,500 tokens and get a free tier 8. That doesn't even cross my mind. I would figure it would be a really grindy, fairly difficult marathon. But that's not what it is. So we have this kind of competing thing of, holy cow, the casual players never get anything good because they don't have time, right? That idea. And then the idea of, hey, we've got to make it hard to get these tanks. Otherwise, everyone's just going to get them for free. Quickly and easily, I guess. All right. 1,800 coins is the sticker. You need 2,500 to get the tank. The rest must be bought in the premium shop. Dude, I don't care. Got it. I am going to get a lot of really good free stuff. And if I want to spend a little bit more, I can actually get a tier 8 tank for a discount with some extra goodies on top. That's your decision. You're the consumer. Look at it and go yay or nay. At the same time, you can not like the way that they do it. That's fine. Main elements, 300. This is good for a free-to-play player, and this is what the ultimate reward should have been. With the rest free coins, you can get 2 days of premium or extra boosters. Okay, so noted. We're on the same page, he and I. Noted. Free-to-play player can get a good deal. I'm not a free-to-play player. I'm still going to get a good deal. Even with a premium account, you're still getting a good deal. You're just going to play the game like you normally do. With easy missions, you're going to get your 1,800 coins and get some free stuff. Good free stuff, actually. Quite a bit of pretty good free stuff. Here's where it goes off the rails for me. If Wargaming didn't advertise premium tanks, this event would have been a good idea and perfectly within typical Wargaming norms. I'd say it still is. However, now Wargaming is trying to bait you into spending more money in order to get the 700 required coins to get the tier 8 premium tank you want. Don't do it. Oh, come on, bro. Come on. Seriously? You're going to get it for a discount in any event. It's going to be less than you would pay for it. Unfortunately for the light tank, not quite a discount because the other one is a little bit more expensive, right? I think the TD costs a little bit more. I don't remember what the exact cost of it is. You're not baiting anybody. Do we not have agency? This is what I hate about people who have this attitude. That's a bad way to put it. I don't even know the guy. This is what I dislike about this kind of attitude about looking at corporations and how this all works. The idea that the consumer, the person, doesn't have any agency. They're tricked. I'm too stupid. I'm going to get tricked into spending my money. I despise that attitude. Take it away from the person. This is not an ad hominem personal attack. But the attitude that I'm not smart enough to make my own decision, that I've been bait and switched. Oh, you got me. Oh, darn it. Maybe next time I won't get tricked spending my money. Well, golly. That's just, come on, man. Totally with you up here. Got it. Horrible execution. I would call it bad, but that's just a small disagreement between us. This, come on. Anyway, I think there's some. Oh, there we go. To get the needed 700 coins, you'll be spending €23 for the batch. This is not a discount for the Tier 8. Really? With the regular event, 15 to 30% Tech Tree tank discounts plus universal coupons be up to 30 to 50% off you can use to discount the tank even more. What? Tech Tree tank discounts? What does that have to do with a premium? Not to mention that other servers... Oh, God, the other servers get stuff we don't get. Especially RU. Get 30% discounts in their premium shop occasionally. Bottom line, do not buy this unless you really want. Okay, man. That's fair enough. And that's what I say. But going through all of this wailing and gnashing of teeth to get to the fact that we have our own agency and we can, bottom line, not buy this unless we really want to. Well, thank you for letting me know. Goodness gracious, I almost got tricked. I know I'm coming off the top rope, man. And maybe he's watching, probably not. Probably a great guy, passionate about the game like I am. We don't really need that. We don't need that. I don't need a white knight helping me decide what to buy on the internet. I actually do not. Neither does anyone else, I think. All right. Then the greediness continues. Now we've got to get into crying about gambling. Do you want to pick up that really cool style like the Ad Astra? Well, too bad, because you have to gamble for it. Well, dude, that doesn't follow. Okay, I would like the Ad Astra. I want to get the Ad Astra. Well, too bad, you have to gamble. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything. I look at it and go, oh, well, crap. It's a 1 in 4 chance or less, depending on what the percentages are. Not worth it to me. I would like the Ad Astra, but I don't really want to gamble. Or I might go, I like all 4 of those. I think I'll gamble. Or I might go, I don't have 300 tickets or whatever it takes. I'm just not going to do it. Or I might go, I'm going to go golfing. I don't want any of that stuff. The assumption here is amazing. It is actually amazing. Well, too bad. You can gamble 3 times and still risk not receiving the style. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, bro. And then say goodbye to your free element rewards. No, you don't say goodbye. You make a decision, like I talked about earlier, whether you want to do this or get your free elements. My suggestion is you get your free elements. But if you just dig it and don't care and you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm going to do this little gamble on the 4. Guess what, dude? No matter what you do, you get your style that is priced at 600 fun tickets by Wargaming. Now you make a decision with your agency. You're a free agency, man. You're a free agent. Is that worth it to me? Nah, because for 300, I can get 9 camos. That seems like a better idea, which he notes. Fair enough. But we don't have to go crazy about, oh, well, say goodbye. You screwed up. You gambled and you lost, fella. This is where I got that percentage. So that was a good catch by him, by the way. Very nice. And it's hard to see, but there's percentages down there. Let's see if we can increase this thing. What do we got? So the styles are not showing. I wonder if that's because it's an even 25%. I bet that's what that is. But over here, it's 25%. It's 25%, so you have an even chance. But over here, as you can see, the gilded pack isn't as gilded as it seems. No, it's the gilded pack, and it makes sense that the higher version is going to have a smaller percentage. I'm kind of surprised over here on the supply cart that things like the credit booster isn't slightly less, to be quite honest. But these are more or less even things. These are more or less even things. These are not even things. That happens to be 7 days, which is worth less than 30 days. It makes complete sense to me. Okay. While it has to be mentioned, for a free play player, the rewards you will be getting are pretty amazing. Also, for a pay-to-play player, there's still good rewards. Wargaming just couldn't resist to sprinkle in some of their greedy monetization strategies just to bait the player into spending more. Don't fall for this. Come on. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. I am in agreement with the majority of what he said, except for the whole evil corporation thing, man. Yeah, call them out when they're doing stuff, and it is valid to say, you know what, you sort of made it look like there were free tanks involved. That wasn't very cool, and it sort of diminishes from the goodwill of the community. That's kind of how you go about that. But the idea that it's a big trick and we're all going to fall for it, and if only this guy could get the word out and stop everyone from doing it, then the world is saved. I don't know, man. Let me know what you know down. That took a long time. I wanted to break that down, though, because this is a subject I've talked about multiple times. And I'm willing to bet a considerable number of people who watch my channel are going to agree with the article writer. And that's fair enough. I got it. Again, I don't dispute the idea that there is a marketing strategy here. I do dislike the idea that people aren't smart enough to figure it out. That I completely disagree with. They are smart enough, and Wargaming will either sell stuff or they won't, and hopefully they learn from whether or not that marketing strategy works. And I think, you know, what will happen, obviously, if it works, then all of a sudden it'll be, yeah, see, the bait and switch. They got us, it works, the bait and switch. No, it actually is a decent deal. There's a couple ways to do this where it's a pretty good deal if you want one of those tanks. That's not a bait and switch. That's just people making a calculated decision with their money. All right, cool. Hey, David, let's leave this on an up note. We're going to go check out David. All right, first of all, we have to listen to the intro because the intro is the best.
If you find that you like Tank Chats, why not subscribe to the Tank Museum channel and you can watch them all. Thanks so much.
All right, the intro is the best part. So here we go. This is interesting, actually. I like this, but there's some comedy gold in here at the end of this. Here we go.
Now this is the Humber Hornet. It's based on like FV1600, and it was really done as a launching vehicle for the Malkara missile at the back, and I'll come to that in a minute. What had actually happened was that the Malkara, which is a wire-guided anti-tank missile, had actually been evolved in Australia. The Australians had designed it with help from the British experts, and it was a wire-guided missile, much bigger than any wire-guided missile had ever been, and it was designed literally to destroy any tank that it hit. Always assume you can hit a tank with one. The original idea was to build it into a bird.
Apparently there was some doubt on whether it could hit anything. The thing is pretty awesome. There's giant missiles on it. It had 4 missiles total. It had 2 in the launcher. It had 2 in a container on the back, a space in the back. It was done to be air mobile, so it was dropped with their paratroopers. And the standard act with the I don't know what they're going to call them, you know, balloons, bags on the bottom to cushion the drop. My airborne guys will know what they're specifically called. Maybe they're just balloons. I doubt it. But anyway, airbags, I guess, to cushion it. The big parachutes to slow it down. All that kind of good stuff out the back of a cargo plane and whatnot. So it had 4 missiles total. Had 3 guys on the inside, and it was wire guided, which is very cool. So let me show you the end of it, though. It's worth a watch, actually. They're all worth a watch. The dude's smart, knows what he's talking about, and you get some of the great Englishisms in there as well. But hold on a minute. All right, the last part's gold as well. There we go.
It's got about, I suppose, about 1,000 yards of wire, which is carried by the missile itself, and the wire is unreeled from the missile as it flies. The missile itself would fly at about 300 miles an hour. So you can see that the controller has got quite a job keeping his eye on where things are going and making sure he hits the target. And that's how it works.
So it works.
The missile works on it has a charge inside it, and it works like a squash head round. It envelops the side of the tank and spreads out and then explodes, and that's how it detonates and breaks through the arm.
Cool.
And they say it would destroy a lot. They never actually practiced it because they didn't want to destroy tanks with it. But they did fire a few dummies just to find out how it went. And it was a vehicle that was rather an improvisation, if you like.
Are you sure this is not a Canadian military vehicle? We made this vehicle to kill things, but we don't want to actually kill anything with it. All right, here we go. Just kidding, Canadians. I love you guys. Your armed forces are awesome.
And it was only in service for a relatively short time, but once they'd finished with it, that was the end of it, and it went out of service.
David, no truer words have ever been said. Once they were finished with it, it went out of service, and then they were done with it. Oh, that was awesome. It was actually pretty cool. That was a crazy little vehicle, man. So there's a hydraulic arm on the back. So the missiles were actually kind of back behind it, and then the arm would come up, and it had a little bit of swivel field of regard up there for it to shoot. And he mentioned, I didn't let you watch that, but he mentioned that when it was up, it was quite top heavy, so they couldn't travel around or it would tip over. So they would stow the arm backwards and change the center of gravity so it wasn't so high. That was good. Let's wrap this up. Those are fantastic. Okay, guys, that's it. We will stream on Thursday. If I have any capability in between, it'll be the standard pop-up, early afternoon stuff. I'm not sure what my goal is going to be next. I think I'm going to go back to trying to finish off the Chimera, the Chimney. I would like to get that in the garage and then start looking at the 260 mission, so that might be the next thing to do. I did play the other night. I did quite a bit of sheriff account action, gave away some gold. I'm sad to say I played artillery most of the time just so I could sit there brain dead and plink away. That's my guilty pleasure. I play the sheriff account and I play artillery in the EBR. Hey, be part of the problem, not the solution, right, guys? Okay. Anyway, can't beat them, join them, all that kind of crap. That's all I've got. Have a good Sunday. We'll see you on Monday for Miserable Monday. Hopefully, I know I've been promising this. I am hoping to get my map room's El Haloof video done today, and it'll be kind of a combination Miserable Monday, Map Monday. So the afternoon video will be a map video. That's kind of my intention right now. So I'm going to get to editing this. We'll get this thing out. I'm just about done with my coffee. Thanks for coming. We got boop boop. I can't talk. This is what happens when I sit here talking for an hour. All of a sudden, the mouth stops working. We will see you later. That's all I've got. See ya.